Hello and welcome, I am Arumba, thank you for joining me. Let's talk about what's going on with my agenda coming up this next week here in 2017. It's currently July 30th. So, alright, hello and welcome, I'm back. Are you back? I'm back. Let's play. Let's play some games. Well, let's play Notepad. And then we'll talk about games and we'll talk about the game plan and stuff. So, it's been a little while. I had just went on a vacation and I'm going to talk about it for a few minutes, tell you guys what my plan is, and then tell you what we're going to be doing moving forward. So, try not to read too far ahead, but, I'm going to just kind of scroll down as we go. I went on vacation. Yeah, it's been the first time I've gone somewhere. This will sound strange, maybe, to some of you, I guess. Well, let's just start from the beginning. I'm not a particularly social person. I've never really been an extrovert, never really been that outgoing, and I don't really have very many friends because I never needed them. I never felt like I needed them. And I would never go somewhere just to go visit a friend. That was just not something I would do. I basically just have a couple friends left over from when I was young and, pre-college. And I've stayed in pretty close contact with them, but things change. Things change when you get older. I'm not old now or anything. I'm just, it's hard to recognize just how easy it is to make friends when you're put into a situation where everyone's your age, everyone's like going through the same stuff you are, like school in general, including college, is just such a great place to make friends. And once you leave those places, you leave high school and college and all that, you find that you can really only become friends with your coworkers, or maybe people who are doing the same activities as your children. Like if you do soccer or you do football or ballet or guitar or, whatever, you've got some activity that your kids do, then you're probably going to maybe make friends with the people that have kids that do the same thing. But beyond that, you don't really meet people. It's not the same. It's just not the same. So anyway, long story short, don't really have a lot of friends. And then when we moved to Florida, I've never really put a lot of effort into making friends. So I guess, as I mentioned already, long story short, what's the point in all this? Well, I finally decided to just take the time to just, for no reason other than because I wanted to spend time with my friend, to just go and visit, and I hung out there for almost a week. And it was probably the best thing I've done in the last year or two, at least. It reminded me of how much fun it was when I went to the ParadoxCon events, or when I was invited to other events. Just spending time in real life with people my age it's hard to explain, it's hard to articulate how it's like my mind, I have this mental block that says you don't need socialization. You don't like socialization, but you do, you crave it. And if you don't get it, it feels weird. It feels it's like there's like catharsis involved with just finally like having some fun with people your own age. And don't get me wrong here, I'm not saying anything about my kids. I love my kids, but there's only so many times you can yell and change diapers and fight with them and stuff until you need to spend some time with them, with some adults or something. So anyway, let's just move on past this point, okay? So I went on a vacation. It was great. Here's some of the things that we did. We toured a beer plant. It was called Sun King Brewing Company. Now, I'm not a big alcohol guy. I don't really drink much beer, but for some reason, Ben wanted to show me how to make beer. So we went to a beer plant, beer company, whatever. And we had some beers and it was fun. And it was one of those things that like, I would have never thought to myself, you know what I want to do today? Let's go to a brewing company. But it's awesome. You go there and it's basically like a party. It's like a bar, but it's bright and there's no music. You just get to like hang out and like talk to people your age, because it's, again, well, I mean, maybe not always your age. There were some older people there, but it's like a daytime bar, and you can go through a tour, and like they'll show you all the stuff, and they let you taste like the hops and stuff. They're like, yeah, sure, just try it. And I'm like, okay, this is gross. But they walk you through the whole process, and the whole way through they're giving you beer and you just enjoy it. And then afterwards you go and you hang out in the nice well-lit area with tables and you have some more beer and you play all kinds of like board games and stuff that they just happen to have for people. I mean, how long has it been? When was the last time you played Connect 4? We played Connect 4. We played Jenga. There was a couple there. There was a group there that was playing Jenga. They seemed incredibly proud of themselves because of how tall they made this tower. And we're not talking like the normal size Jenga. It was like a large version of Jenga for groups, and it was fun. But they also were very bad at the game. They cheated a lot. When I grew up, there was a rule you could only use one finger, like one hand at a time. Only one finger could touch at a time. There was no like, oh, I'm going to touch both sides to balance it, or God, at one point I swear this guy was like holding it down from the top so that someone else could like push a piece out. And I'm like, you guys, there's no value in your achievement because you're cheating. Anyway, so that's what we did. I thought it was hilarious that they had beers called things like Soccer Mom, Badger Party, and whatever. It was fun. Yeah, I learned how to make beer. I'm not going to like try to microbrew anything. I just thought it was really cool. It's just a really fun event. I'm glad that we went to that. Learned why IPAs taste so awful. It's because they've got this thing where like apparently if you put hops in, there's like 3 different times where you can put hops in, and like if you put it in, I think I might get this wrong now, but I think if you like put it in the beginning of the brewing phase, it makes it like bitter. And if you put it in like the middle, it does something else. And if you put it in at the end, it does something else. And so apparently with IPAs, India Pale Ales is the definition for that acronym, I think. You basically put hops in at all 3 points, which just finally explains to me why I hate the taste of it, because it tastes bitter, it tastes the other thing and the other thing, whatever those things were, but they're horrible. I hate IPAs. Ugh. But I also learned a new term, IBU, which apparently stands for International Bitterness Units. And now I know how to like identify which beers I won't like. Normally, I just always steer clear of an IPA because I know that IPA is India Pale Ale and it's usually really hoppy and I just don't like it. But now there are some that actually have low IBU. And of course, ABV is alcohol by volume, which, if you're going to buy a beer, you usually want to get one that's a little bit stronger. Because, yeah, why not? Yeah, so that's what we did there. Then the other thing that I thought was just absolutely hilariously awesome and fun, and I just could not believe I had forgotten how much I loved it when I was a kid. We went rock climbing. Now, I never went rock climbing before, so I didn't do this as a kid, but what I did do is I climbed absolutely every single tree within like a 5-mile radius of my house. I was such a climber. Never fell, never feared falling. I always had this like intuitive understanding of how to move through trees and know when a branch would break, when it can support my weight or not, when I can swing from it, like, knock on wood. I hope I don't like fall and die now or anything, but it's one of those things that like I forgot how much I missed it. Like, I love climbing, and rock climbing was just a blast. It was awesome. So I can't wait for my kids to get home because I'm definitely going to take them rock climbing. Where we went, they had this, there were all these kids, like 6 to 12 years old, maybe, like a lot of them in the middle of the day. And I was wondering why there were so many kids there. And it turns out like in the summer, they have like, it's not daycare, but it's like a camp activity where the kids will come in and they'll like rock climb for a while, and then they have lunch, and they rock climb some more. And of course, kids being kids, they have infinite energy, and it's just amazing how many times they can scale those walls. It was funny. A couple times the kids would like ask me to hitch them in and unhitch them and stuff, and I'm like, I don't work here. But okay, sure, I'll help you out. Why not? And just reminded me a lot of my kids. Made me miss them like crazy. If you're unfamiliar, they've been gone now for about a month and a half. Every summer they go down to South America to visit with the other half of the family, and I usually spend a couple months at home on my own. And I've come to realize over the last few years that it's harder and harder and harder for me to deal with this period of time because I have 3 kids now, and I just miss them so much when they're gone, and it's really just tough. It used to be when I was a little bit younger, and there were a couple fewer of them, and they were just like little babies that you just kind of dealt with the checklist of issues that they could run into. They didn't quite have as much of a personality at that point. Well, of course, kids always have a personality, but it doesn't come out until they're a couple years old. I always looked at this summertime like it was just a break. It was like a vacation from dealing with that stuff. Now it's not. And now it's just, I just miss them. So anyway, we're going to go rock climbing. I'm going to show them that Dad knows how to climb. I scaled that thing. It was hilarious. Ben, I don't know. I think that I surprised the crap out of him because he went first, because it's been like 15 years probably since I climbed anything. And it took him maybe, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes to scale the first one that we did. And I climbed that thing like a freaking monkey with the fire under his ass. Like, I was up that thing in about a minute and a half, just like straight up the mountain. It was great. And then we tried this thing called the Snake, which was, it's called a boulder climb, where you don't actually have like a harness or a belay or like any of that stuff. You just climb it, right? And there's like a big foam pit that you can fall into if you fall, when you fall. And it was so much fun. It was you were upside down, and you're just like trying so hard. And I should have done that one first, because I ran out of energy. You can only really climb the walls like 3, 4, 5 times maybe until you just spent, if you haven't done it a lot. But I think it's gonna become like my new pastime. I just really liked it. It was so much fun. Anyway, so that's basically what we did. We had a lot of good food. We ate. We played. I got to meet his new dog, and that also kind of reminded me how much I miss pets. I always had pets when I was growing up, and haven't had pets in forever. And then my wife's like, "Oh, look at this kitten. We're gonna get this cat," and then she didn't get it. So now I had my heart set on having this cat that I don't get. I like cats. Cats are great. It was one of those really ugly ones with like the flat face. Looks like somebody dropped it repeatedly on its face, which apparently makes them more expensive. I don't understand how this system works. They're like, the uglier we can make these animals, the more expensive they will be. I'll tell you what, I could do that just as easily for almost nothing. Like, you bring me your pets, I'll smash them in the face with a rock until they're hideous, and then you can pay me for it. It sounds like a fantastic business model. So, anyway, let's talk about games and stuff. So, EU4. It's been a couple days. It's been a couple weeks, even since I really put a lot of effort or time into EU4. In fact, I don't even think I've really even played the Russia patch, the third Rome one. I was really focused on MNT 2.0 and going back to the 1.9.2 patch for the Ryukyu campaign I've been doing. But yeah, there's been a fairly sizable patch to the game, and more importantly, I get to go to Europe again, and I cannot wait. In October, I think it's like October, the first week or so of October, there's going to be a massive, massive event in Poland, in a castle. It's called EU4 LAN Party. There's going to be a link in the description down below, or you could just Google it. But basically, what they're doing is they're bringing together 100 different people, and we're all going to play EU4 on a local area connection inside a real castle in Poland. And they are kind enough to be inviting me out there as like a guest of honor type thing. They're going to fly me out there, and I get to play, and I can't wait. I loved these events for Hearts of Iron 4, Stellaris, ParadoxCon. Like, anytime I get to go and like spend time, again, with people my age, it's just always so much more fun than I ever expected it would be. So I can't wait to go to this thing. Super excited that they actually knew who I was and wanted me to come out there. I got a couple emails, and Nikki was kind of like, "I'm going to try you one more time." And I'm like, "Oh God, just another one of those stupid spam emails." I get so many spam emails. But it wasn't. This one was important, and I'm glad that I took a look at it. So I need to brush up on my skills, get ready for playing EU4 against real players. I think it's going to be a lot different. I mean, I've played against players before in like 3, 4, 5 player multiplayer, but never have I done a 100 player LAN-based massive multiplayer EU4 game. So I can't wait for that. It's going to be great. So we're going to be doing a lot of EU4 over the next couple of weeks. Again, that trip's going to be in October, early October. So I've got about 2.5 months or so to prepare. Also, I'm going to at some point finish the Ryukyu campaign. That needs to happen too. That's the thing I'm going to work on. It is also time for a new Crusader Kings 2 solo campaign. I have not played CK2 in a while. The last time I played CK2 was with Filthy Robot, and he didn't really like the game that much, and it was just difficult for us to continue the campaign when he wasn't really enjoying it. It was just kind of not the same as EU4, and I don't know, it wasn't really rubbing him the right way. So we quit that one. But I'm ready to dive back in and like play a new campaign on my own with the new mechanics and stuff. I only really tried the whole like Lucifer Zone and the Hermetic Societies and stuff like for maybe 3 hours on a stream once. I haven't played the new features, and I want to try them out. So I'm definitely open to suggestions on both the start date and the country that I should play as. I don't think I want to make this into an achievement run, because those usually seem pretty restricted in like what the goal is. I just want something fun, open, and I don't know. I just want to have some fun. I miss the game. I want to try it out. Aven Colony is a lot of fun, so I'm going to keep playing it. We're going to play some more of the campaign. I think that it's going to keep on getting more difficult, and honestly, if the game ever does start to feel too easy, which is one of my concerns, that it's a very linear title compared to some of the dynamic features of the other titles that I play most of the time, well then we'll just bump up the difficulty and see if that makes things a little bit more challenging. I mean, that is, after all, what a difficulty slider does. Stellaris. I was listening to some Stellaris music the other day, and it made me remember just how gorgeous that game was, and it's been a long time. It's been over a year, I think, since the game was out, and I want to see if they have made it more fun. They put out a good title at first, but they dove in not knowing exactly how to make a good 4X-based game, and then they put Wiz on it, and he's had about a year or so to work on it, so I want to give it a shot, but I want to try more in a multiplayer context, and I'm really looking forward to trying out Stellaris again. Now, of course, if you've been around for a while, you know how my mind works. I can't not play some sort of incremental, at least a little bit. Every game I play, if you think about it, EU4 is an incremental, so is CK2, so is Aven Colony. These are all incrementals. That's my definition, and I'm sticking to it. If you're unfamiliar, what I mean, an incremental is, generally speaking, it's going to be a game that you like make incremental progress over time on, and that's why it's called an incremental. You get incrementally better. And when I say EU4 is an incremental, it's because that's kind of how it works. You know, you start as any tag in the game, and you just sort of expand one province at a time until you are incrementally stronger than everyone else in the world, and then you win. So it's kind of an incremental. Anyway, I'm playing an incremental. I'll show you what it looks like. One second. So there is Kittens game. I was on Reddit maybe 3-4 weeks ago at this point, and there was like a pretty popular subreddit, pretty popular post about like, what's a good game that you've spent a lot of time playing? And I was like, oh, another one of these. I'll probably find something I can't, stop playing. And I was right. So I've been playing this game for 3 weeks or so. I've restarted a number of times. It's different. It's kind of reminds me of Dwarf Fortress with the aesthetic appeal of it, just because of, well, actually, I did this myself. I didn't realize that you could just change your, there's like 4 different font options in Chrome, and depending on like what web element they use or something, like they use the different font. So I changed the font to make it look kind of like this, and I like it. So anyway, what is it? What is it? It's a game where, obviously, you click on gather catnip until you have enough catnip, and then you build catnip fields, which grow catnip, and then you get kittens. And these kittens then go on to become your minions, slaves even. They do things for you, like cut wood, farm, become scholarly kittens, hunter kittens, cute little cats that hunt, miners, priests, geologists, engineers, and they do stuff. And I mean, obviously, woodcutter cuts wood, pharmacist farms some catnip, scholars do science, hunters earn cat power, which is used to go hunting, which gets you furs, ivories, and spices via trading. And so yeah, I've been playing this a lot. I just thought I'd mention it because I've had a lot of fun doing it, and if anyone's interested in it, then it's free to play. It's just called Kittens Game. It's by somebody named Bloodriser, which is actually a girl, I learned. Yes, I've been on the Kittens Game subreddit, and I have also been on the wiki. Yes, I've updated a few of the wiki pages with formulas because I calculated that they were wrong. I can't help it, okay? Anyway, I need more geologists. Geologists are kind of a later, not late or anything, but like a later version of like one of the jobs that you can get. They earn you direct coal and gold. Gold is useful for trade. Trade is how you make, again, the spices, which is a luxury resource. But also, you can just trade directly for things that are harder to get, like titanium and iron and that kind of stuff. So, anyway, it's just a fun game. I think that you'd like it. I like it. I told Ben about it, and he's been playing it. I apparently need to do some research here. I guess it's time for required for space exploration. It's time to send these cats to the moon. Also, I do want oil processing. So, done, and done. And yeah, those are all things that you can craft. There's this thing, all kinds of mechanics that like synergize super well in the game. You've got things like craft effectiveness. The more workshops you have, the more effective you are with every type of craft. So instead of making just one time, like one copy of a scaffold, I actually currently have a craft ratio of 622% increase. So I make 7.22 every time I click, which makes things a lot better. And then also, because I can't help it, let's trade with the zebras. So we sent 59 trade caravans, we built some ships, we got a bunch of titanium, 41,000 iron, yay for iron, and everyone likes zebras. Zebras are great. There's others that you can trade with as well. You can trade with the lizards, the sharks, the griffins, the nagas, the spiders, the dragons, and the leviathans. And I enjoy it. It's good. You got a multiplicative increase on your production based on faith. Of course, cats can pray to the sun. And then there's unicorns. I mean, because obviously, you can sacrifice them, and when you do this, you get unicorn tears. That makes them very sad. But it's a thing that you do. And apparently, it's time to go into outer space, and you can restart. And when you restart, you earn things like karma and Paragon. Paragon is really good because let's see, I had hidden it. Paragon increases all of your stuff, kind of like faith. Paragon production plus 240%. And you can burn your Paragon, that does other stuff. I like it. I just like the numbers, I like the math and stuff. But also, you'll notice this thing over here, I'm also using a script called Kittens Scientists, which is actually probably the thing that's brought me more into the game than I otherwise would have been. Basically, it is a really cool like script that runs in the background while you're playing and kind of like auto builds things. It builds crafts components and builds buildings and stuff based on criteria. And what I've really enjoyed about it is basically programming it, like trying to find the way, like under this criteria, like if let's say my wood is capped, then what should you build? If my minerals are capped, then what's the highest priority thing that you could build if that were true? Or like what order should things be upgraded as it's building? Like should it build a workshop over a trade post, or should it build the workshop over a lumber mill or a mine? And that's been the fun part for me, is just figuring out exactly how I want to balance these things to make it run how I would play it. And I did this sort of a similar thing when I played a long time ago. I was playing Clicker Heroes, and I had a script that was running that was playing the game for me. And I guess what it comes down to, what I'm realizing is I really like coding. And this is basically coding. It's programming something to do things for me conditionally, and I really like that. So anyway, that's probably what's kept me playing it. The biggest upgrades that you can get from Paragon, by the way, are your let's see, show research to text. So I have spent some Paragon so far to buy things that like reduce the price ratios. So things, they get less expensive by like a lot right now, which makes it much easier to scale into the late game. You can build way more buildings than you normally can. So anyway, I don't want to spend all day playing this because I will. I want to play some E4 and stuff. So anyway, this is my agenda. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Let me know what country you think I should play as, or what tag I should play as, what character in Crusader Kings 2. And I don't know, just generally give me your thoughts. It's been a while, and I'm really excited to be getting back into the swing of things coming up. And also, I can't express how excited I am that my family is coming home in about a week. And this dark period of summer will be over. Yes! Yeah! So, anyway, thank you for watching, thank you for understanding, and I definitely look forward to reading your comments and seeing you in the next video. I'll see you soon.